Love
Hey
me.
guys,
Come
welcome
on.
back. This is Midday Awesomeness. I have Ashley Chapman. I have the Mr., the Matt, the Calder, the Crusher, the guy who calls and gets listing appointments on a daily basis. We're going to be talking about how to avoid the $500,000 mistake on luxury remodels. And Ashley has a story. She just came back. She's all dressed up, looking all pretty. And she went out. See, look at her. Ding! Oh, Ash, do this.
It's a rarity. It's a rarity.
You got to do the hand thing. There we go. Matt, you and I can't pull that off, but she can.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But she has a story she's going to talk to us about. Matt, I want to run this past you as well. A lot of folks, there's a large misunderstanding. I live in a high luxury marketplace myself, tens of millions of dollars in properties, and people get bamboozled on a consistent basis because contractors tell them false narratives. So I want to do this. I want to first do introductions. So I'm going to do round robin. Matt, I'm going to go to you first. Ash, I'm going to come to you second because I want Ash, and then you're going to take it away and we're going to talk about this content. So Matt, who are you? Where are you from? And what you doing, brother?
My name's Matt. I am from San Diego, California, best city on the planet.
You're from Las Vegas, James.
Well, I'm living in San Diego.
Wait, did you just say James?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought I heard James. I'm like, does he go by an alternate name?
No.
Okay.
No.
He's from Las Vegas. He lives in San Diego.
That is true. I do that. And I work in real estate here in San Diego for Ashley Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty gangster.
Now you work for you, and you are building your own business, and you're a gangster. That's
what
why.
she said.
She told you.
Yep.
Now, so Matt's working with, not for, Ashley and her team when they do, rehabs and buying investments and so on and so forth. Matt, before I go to Ash, you have how many listings have you picked up in the last couple of weeks? Because I know at least of 4 appointments you've gone on.
None signed, but I have 4 on the market currently.
Okay, gangster. And you're how old?
23.
Okay, so if anyone has a complaint they can't do it, shut up. If a 23-year-old gentleman can get on the calls and just grind, you could do it too. Ash, you know what? For everyone who lives under a rock, who are you? Where are you from? And where are you currently sitting? And where did you just come from?
My name's Ashley Chaps. Matthew is a fucking gangster, just saying. Like, this kid is something that nobody's going to see coming. He is crushing it. I'm just so proud of him. I just want to say that. But yeah, my name's Ashley. I've been in the business almost 9 years, and I'm just doing random shit every day. And today I went to an appointment that was like disheartening in a lot of ways. So I think that's kind of like the bulk of what we're going to be talking about. So like how to not be taken advantage of, how to be discerning, and like when you know things are a little wrong with construction, real estate agents, all of that. But yeah, I've been an agent. I've been in construction. I've been flipping houses. I've done development. I've done all of it. So I've also failed at some of it. So I have a lot of it random experience. And, this year we are not going bankrupt. We are winning.
No. And here's the thing, guys. My title says $500 mistake in luxury remodeling.
500,000.
It's supposed to be $500,000 mistake. I want to quickly step back to Matt. Matt, you've been in the business for how long?
In total, like almost 3 years.
Okay, been in the business for 3 years. In your experience, how many times have people fallen prey to a predatory contractor or an individual that's speaking false truths to a client of yours? And you're like, dude, no. That's a horrible idea. No, stop that. Like, no.
I have unfortunately seen it a couple of times. I've heard a lot about it through Ashley. She has done an enormous amount of construction, and so she has a lot of those stories. But I've seen it very few times. But when I've seen it, I mean, I've seen contractors, taking money from jobs and then using that money for other jobs that they're not telling the client about, and siphoning it and doing all sorts of shady stuff. And it happens all the time, and a lot of people don't realize it.
So it's robbing Peter to pay Paul is what I'm hearing.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
The funny thing is my girlfriend, she loves to flip houses. She's like Ashley, but in an Asian body. and she just
She's a
loves
pit
to do
bull
this
in a
stuff.
woman's body.
The woman's body.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power body. But the thing is that like her contractor, Tom, he's a Irish guy. And this guy, like when he talks to his other contractor buddies, it's so Irish. You're like, can I just get that in a text message? Because I don't understand a damn thing you're saying right now.
If it's not in writing, it's not real. Greg,
It's right.
back me up.
But you also have to find people and you have to refer people that you know, like, trust, and you've worked with in the past, so they don't get bent over the bench and just taken advantage of when they could honestly find phenomenal human beings out there that'll have their best interest in hand. So, Ashley, walk me through the story that you have from today, and start with how you met this individual, because a lot of people think this is BS, but tell me how you met, where it went after that, and then where it went today.
So I live in Lake Tahoe. I live in what they call Income Village. I live in Incline Village, and it's a very high net worth place, which is unfortunate for the homeowners here because you work so hard to buy something so valuable, and then you get fucked by the design build contractors that live here because they are charging you based on your income, which I find to be a little messed up. Like, we all want to make money, but personally for me, we all work super hard and we don't want to get screwed over. Like, the true price is the true price. So on Sunday, I was in the Starbucks line, not showered. I was wearing a sweatsuit, and this woman comes up behind me and we start talking. She's like, "You look like you're 20." And I was like, "I'm almost 30." And we were chatting. I was like, "Yeah, I just bought a house, like, on seller financing. Whatever, I'm remodeling it. So I'm living out of a suitcase right now and in fucking Airbnb like a dumbass. But I can live in a
Not a
cardboard
dumbass,
box."
a very
No.
intelligent investor.
So we start chatting and she was like, "Oh my God, like, can you please talk to me about construction because I'm having a lot of issues." So I end up, getting my coffee. She gets her coffee and we sat down and we started talking. And she was like, "Yeah, a contractor charged me $100,000 up front deposit to just do basic stuff like flooring, cabinetry." I almost fell over because the root of the problem is the fact that this contractor literally leveraged the fact that tariffs are impacting materials, which is not true. Okay, I want to make this very effing clear. Tariffs are not impacting materials. It depends on your source. If your vendors are Chinese, it can impact it. Is it impacting it that much? No. Contractors, GCs, general contractors, make money off of marking up material. They do not make money on labor. They do not make money on anything else but marking up your finished materials. Finished materials. We're talking trim work, windows, cabinetry, vanities, stupid stuff, right? So for me, when I about fell over, I was like, well, number one, I'm not a lawyer, full disclosure, but it's illegal to charge somebody $100,000 up front. Second of all, what did they do? They put $5 a square foot LVP in and made this woman believe that it was engineered hardwood.
So LVPN, describe that really quickly for the layman's like myself listening.
So in Lake Tahoe, you have a lot of multimillionaires who believe that engineered hardwood is the end all be all because it sounds fancy. Well, I'm a big LVP person, but there's a big difference between cheap LVP and
What is
nice
LVP?
luxury vinyl plank flooring, which has come in extensively long way. And I honestly think it is better than hardwood. Hear me out.
We will have a discussion on that point.
Okay. So this woman, we start talking. I was like, oh my gosh, you were screwed. She was screwed out of almost $500,000 because of the zip code that she lives in. I went into her house today. I did a little bit of measurements, just a tiny bit, set up some meetings with my where I source my materials from, which I am not going to make money on. I told her flat out, I said, I'm not a real designer. Here's the deal. I'll give you my materials at my cost. I will charge you a consulting fee. And then we will have my guys come in and do this remodel, which is extensively cheaper than $500,000.
That's fair.
So huge win for her, but massive loss because of where she lives, which is sick. Makes me kind of sick because it's just not necessary. Like, tariffs are not impacting construction the way that these contractors are using it as. And the normal homeowner does not know that. They do not understand that. They don't do this for a living. So to hear it was like, oh my goodness, like, are you for real? Like, this guy, like, what the hell,
So the funny thing is that I mean, you've been in the game for a long time. Matt's been in the game for a minute. I've been in a quarter century now, and I'll tell you one thing. My dad always laughs at me because he's been there for 70 plus years at this point. He's like, he always jokes about the fact that the 2x4 does not know that it lives in this zip code or the other zip code. And people
100%.
take advantage of that opportunity. Like when you get cleaning companies or anything else, they're like, oh, okay, so I live in the 94507, extremely expensive neighborhood. Now, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that the home prices go for a lot.
It's amazing.
I grew up there.
No, it's a great location.
But once they hear that number, prices. Now, if you take another, I'm not going to say other cities because I don't want to demean them, but other cities around me that are different, income brackets, the price goes down. And I honestly get furious about that. Ash, would you, Matt and Ash, I want both of you guys to answer this. If you were to have a P.O. box in a certain location, let's say it's a more affordable location, but you live in a more affluent location, is it ethical or legal to use that as your primary residence? If it's legal, I said.
If it's legal, yeah, I do that every day of my life, Craig.
Matt, what would you do?
100%.
I'm a resident. Legal, I'm technically 100%. A resident of South Dakota. Let's just leave it at that.
We're not going anywhere close to that one.
Yeah, we're not. Just, do your own research.
So, Matt, when it comes to you as a newer agent, a couple of years in the business, you're kind of cutting your teeth at this point, right? You're under 5 years in the business. Mm-hmm. You're learning from one of the best when it comes to flips and investment properties and prospecting. Mm-hmm. What would be an advice piece that you would share with folks so they don't fall prey to the $500,000 luxury remodeling BS?
Well, if there's anything I've learned from Ashley, it's that transparency always wins, and open communication is the best way to go. So in my opinion, when you're having conversations with sellers and contractors and all this craziness going on, having everyone in one streamlined chat where no information goes missed and everyone has access to all of the records, all of the previous text messages and emails, and having everything concise and honest and in open dialogue, things don't get mixed up when it's done and structured that way. When people go off and have their little side chats and side this and negotiate things outside of the bulk of what's going on, then things start to go sideways. But if you're just open and transparent and put it all out on the table and go, this is exactly what it is, then it has a lesser chance of things going sideways or wrong.
So Matt, as a quick question to you, just for the audience's knowledge, how old are you?
23.
23. What do you think about blockchain?
I don't know much about it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I haven't done much research into it, and I don't really know much about it.
There was a company that was sold. The first title company was sold about 6 or 7 years ago. That was full blockchain. And the guy who sold it, I interviewed him on my show, and that guy made $1.5 million but he couldn't afford good headphones because they died halfway through my interview. But very interesting.
Get Bose.
Yeah, get Bose. I actually, when I was single, I went on
They're
a date with a girl.
They're expensive, but I'm telling you, they're worth it.
They are good. They're fantastic, especially if you're on the move. And anyways, they're great products, great products. But I mean, would you recommend if you were to look into blockchain on our next, conversation? Because if you want open communication and transparency, this is like the best thing you can ever do. But people are terrified about it because it's not the classical escrow.
Right.
It's like everybody sees everything and people freak out about it. I mean, okay, when you and your future wife or boyfriend or dog or goldfish, we don't know what you like,
Right.
but you're a very handsome man, so I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go with woman.
Yes.
Would you want to see everything in a transaction and a purchase? Let's say Ashley is flipping a house, right?
Mhm.
And you and your fictitious wife, we're going to call her Julie.
Okay.
Julie rolls in, you and your 3 kids, and you're like, this is a pretty cool house. But you could see everything as it unfolds versus having to correspond with your real estate agent who may or may not have a schizophrenic issue and can't pick up their phone or whatever, they're on vacation, because that always happens. How would you feel about that?
Well, I think I get what you're saying. I think I should clarify a little bit more what I meant with transparency. I meant
Okay.
specifically transparency between the professionals that are handling the transaction, such as the
Okay.
contractors, the GCs, the title company, escrow, and in certain situations, if
Matt,
the
Matt, what's a
seller is
GC? Matt, what's a GC?
general contractor.
Thank you. I just
Sorry.
no.
Yeah. No, but I think that communicate, and then at certain points, the seller or the buyer or whatever, whoever you're representing in that situation, if they're really proactive in the transaction and they're a lot of buyers get really anxious and really nervous and they want to know everything that's going on. Like, yes, but I also think that there is some pieces of a transaction that only the agents and title and escrow have to deal with, that I think people that aren't super keen to listening to those conversations or seeing it happen would be a little intimidated, and it's just some things are best done behind the scenes and then presented to the seller as a package deal. It's like, oh, here, we handled all of this for you. It's all done.
I think you make a very valid point on that, Matt, because we are, as agents, as investors, as representatives of our clientele, we're paid to be the ones that take the punch. We're the psychologists, we're the gardeners, we're the movers, we're the stagers, handymen. I mean, everything between there. Because it's like when I bought my last car, was in 2017. Love my damn car. I call it the Beast because this thing eats pavement for a living and then gets a gratuity on it. But yeah, when I signed the contract, I am not kidding you. The thing was probably 3 to 4 feet long, and I'm like, "What in the heck am I signing right now?"
No.
And they're like, "Oh, don't worry, just press hard. There's 3 copies." And you being an advocate and understanding the process, so people don't step in the big mud hole of luxury remodels, or it could just be remodels. Ashley, what would be a takeaway for you in regards to when somebody wants to redo their bathroom, their kitchen, get it prepped for sale? What would be something that you've seen continuously that frustrates you, and they can avoid it, but they just don't know the difference?
Some of the things that I see a lot on like retail remodels that just frustrates me the most is when someone's prepping their house for sale. And mind you, I am not a full-time agent. I do not do that, but I see a lot of houses like this, and it's happened to me with contractors, right? When I was newer, quote unquote. And it still happens because people lie. Is like when they'll demo like a bathroom and their tile work is really good, but they don't waterproof the shower, so to
Oh,
speak.
jeez.
Something like that can cost somebody triple the amount that they spent on the good tile work to fix. So, there's always going to be a little bit of rough plumbing involved. There's going to be something involved that requires a permit. I'm not saying Full disclosure.
Everybody check with your own local county, city,
Yes.
rules and
Yes.
everything else. Do not base it on this conversation.
But
We're
if
not
you're,
legal experts.
but if a tile guy is not waterproofing their own tile work, like the liability is absolutely insane. Me
Okay,
as an investor, on the flip side, like I may not get permits, but I disclose that I don't do it, so that the new buyer knows that. However, I have to also disclose the scope of work that shows what I did, aka waterproofing the shower. So I see a lot of homeowners that prep their houses for sale that get screwed and end up having to pay more to fix the problem that they paid to already fix, because they don't know the ropes of construction. And that's what ends up getting them in trouble, because the contractor, quote unquote, makes more money not disclosing what actually needs to be done, and does it, they cut corners. And that happens a lot. And a lot of flippers do it as well. The only difference is the lawsuit and the liability on the investment side is your entire life. So I'm not going to risk that. Let's waterproof the shower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put some plastic down. Let's do this. Whatever it's going to take.
Yeah, no, it's called hot mopping. We hot mop it, waterproof it, then we lay tile, then rough plumbing, whatever. That's you don't cut corners on that stuff, and it gets a lot of homeowners in trouble because they don't know the difference. So it ends up costing them more when a home inspector comes in and they're selling their house and they're like, "Oh, this is leaking. Oh, wow, it's causing." We can't say mold as realtors. We call it microbial matter, but you know what I'm saying?
I call it mold, by the way.
We're not allowed to, but I'm just saying, like,
and you can't say a master bedroom has to be a primary. Forget you, dude. I'm sorry. It's mold and it's a master bedroom.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, it ends up costing these people way more money than it ever should have. And that's the issue, is construction is not difficult. The contractors are. So
did you just clap at me?
Yes, I did.
Please don't do that.
I'm sorry.
It's the So Jackson and I walked into this open house in San Francisco. It was like a $3.5+ million home. We're just, toddling around, and we call it the, sex on the roof house, because they had a balcony up on the upper top.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we joke and call it sex on the roof house because nobody can see you. And we went down there. And we were looking at the countertops in the kitchen. And Jax looks at me square in the face, and she gives me that look that a girlfriend gives the boyfriend of like, "You need to pay attention to this." And I looked at it, and I'm like, "What am I looking at?" The flippers did not put any wood underneath the granite, and put no supports for the breakfast nook area. And she's like, "Dude, that thing's gonna break off in a half a second. If someone hops up on that, it's gonna break the whole thing." And I'm like, that's really good knowledge to have about this, because a lot of folks would never even think to look for something like that. Matt, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in an investment flip? Per Ashley's commentary here, that you're sitting there going like, "Oh hell no, no."
There was a house I walked, and they had the most ridiculous. It was an open floor concept. It was completely wide open, floor to ceiling windows, and they decided to install a beam in the middle of the property, straight smack in the middle. They installed it, and they wanted to mount TVs on 4 sides to create like a game, like movie experience. And that house sat on the market for like 8 months. Because
I can't imagine why.
They installed it. It wasn't there previously. They put a beam in the middle of the living room.
So there's no structural means for this. It was just because they wanted to put 4 TVs up.
Correct.
Okay, people are
I have photos of it. I'll show you after. I have photos of it. It was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen.
I literally cannot wait to see that. Ashley, I want you to give people I want you to give us 3 tidbits that you see the most in regards to doing flips on luxury models that people just don't think about. Right? Matt brought up, don't put up a random post in the middle of your house. Kind of breaks up the whole flow.
I disagree with that, but
continue. We're going to go deeper on that then. All right.
Mhm.
So break it down for me. Give me 3 things that you see people could and should avoid at a low cost, no cost, price point.
Okay, so the first thing is a post sometimes is necessary for load bearing stuff, right? So I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
an engineer, I'm literally not an engineer, full disclosure, but the
but
post
you
should be
play one on TV,
decorated.
right?
Yeah, no, I'm not on TV. Fuck that. But a post is necessary. So Matt is not. He doesn't understand that yet. We'll get there. But you can decorate it and make it beautiful. But sometimes the post is necessary to get the design that you want, and that's okay. But the 3 things that I see the most is people spending money in rooms that they should not. The first room you should spend money on is the kitchen, number 1. The second room you should spend money on is your master, number
Bathroom.
2. Yep. And the third thing that you should spend money on is your view if you have one. And if you don't, make one. That's it. Simple as that.
So
And
should we go cut down the neighbor's trees?
to use it as, oh shit, I gotta take, can I take this call? I gotta go.
Goodbye.
I got
Matt and I'll
okay.
talk.
Okay.
So here's the funny thing, Matt, is that we have a neighbor here on our upper side over here. He actually called us. He brought us over to his house, and then I'm going to come back to the whole view thing, right? This guy, he's like, so my wife and I were talking, and we were wondering, would you mind cutting your trees down so we could have a better view? And yeah, thank you, exactly. And my girlfriend and I look at each other, we're like, the fuck are you talking about? No. And kicker, the next day we're up at my parents' ranch in Grass Valley, and we get a text from him, and he's like, oh yeah, so I'm building the fence between our properties. Can we borrow some of the water from your house? Now we have live feed cameras. We have 10 of them around the property. This mother blah blah schmouse. His whole crew walked onto our property without our permission and just took our water. And we were so ticked off, we blew a lid. And so Jackie turns to me and she's like, we are going to feed those trees as much nutrients as humanly possible and as much water. We want them to be as big as sequoias. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we went and got worm food and all kinds of other nutrients, and we just feed the heck out of these trees. The point is that people are crazy in real estate, and it doesn't really matter what side you're on, buyer or seller, investor or realtor. If you had a tip for somebody who wants to get into investing, wants to be like you, I mean, you're charismatic, you're successful, you're moving and grooving. What would be something that you would tell somebody so they can grow their business as of right now?
So I would say there's like 3 main things, and I truly mean there's 3 main things. I think the most important thing is be very honest to yourself. Be very true to yourself. Don't try to do something because you see someone doing it online and you think that it's cool. Do it because you want to do it, not because you think it's going to make you rich. Like because then you're going to be 6 months into this thing, and then you're going to be like, oh shit, I don't have any results. I don't have anything and I suck. And then your confidence is going to shoot down. And then all of a sudden you're capable, but you've convinced yourself that you're not. So then you're actually not going to get anywhere. Which is honestly the number 1 most important thing. And then the number 2 and number 3 kind of go hand in hand. It's like work really, really hard, but in a smart direction. Like don't just work really hard at something that's not going to provide you with results. Work hard at something, but like think about the thing that you're working hard at, and have a game plan for what you want and set milestones. Like for me, a milestone was get a listing agreement signed. That was a big milestone for me. I got my first like solo listing agreements like signed via DocuSign, and I celebrated. I was like, I now proved to myself that I can take a cold call to a listing agreement signed. Okay, now my next milestone is sell it. Okay, and then once that's done, then my next milestone is now do it again, but times 2. And so have expectations for yourself, because in this business, you're your own boss. And if you don't set your own expectations and meet them, that's how you build confidence. And that's honestly key to being successful, I think.
I agree with you on that. We're going to take Ash out of this since she's not going to be a part of the conversation right now. I remember the first time I took my own listing. This is many, many moons ago. And it was a $5 million listing.
Dang.
And I went and I followed up with them, followed up. And I sat with them. We talked about race cars, farming, pools, trees, because he had a big old property. And I looked at him like, so when do you want to get started?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yesterday. I'm like, great. I'll have the paperwork sent over. He's like, great. I'll wait for the email. Gave me his card. Got the doc signed before I even left the cul-de-sac. My team manager signed it. But I remember going to the bar. I do not drink during the day. I drink during weekends and holidays and stuff like that. Fun stuff, right?
Right.
And I couldn't believe to the fact that I just listed a $5 million home. No presentation, no hurrahs. It was just me being me with another guy. And I think that's where it's really missing in real estate. Because he and we were like peas and carrots, got along like nobody's business. I have another 2.7, 3.1, 1.8 listings from one guy. And I met him because he and I bonded over hamburgers, 2 beers, and our trucks. And for 5 years, we've been thick as thieves, and we're just running deep on some bigger projects. But it really comes down to that for the investment side and for residential real estate resale.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? And I'll give you my point of view on this once you're done. Brand new agent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a pot to piss in. What would you do first off?
I mean, brand new agent, no pot to piss in. I would hold open houses.
Okay. What's important about open houses for you?
I mean, there's like a couple of things that are really important. You have to be, able to communicate information over in a very, very meticulous manner to these people. Because again, they're looking to buy it's a big purchase, and you have to be personable. I mean, you have to make sure that when they walk into that house, you make it feel like a home. You have genuine conversation. That's where the honesty part comes in. And your goal at the end of that open house is to schedule an appointment, either to go to a future showing with them, or B, set up a follow-up appointment to come back to the house when it's not an open house because they were just that interested in it. And you show up to the open house, you do what you do, you smile, you're very, very full of information. You make sure that you make the place feel like a home, and you set an appointment with all the people that you interact with before you leave. And there's actually, this is something I learned from Ashley. Before I ever started working for her or with her, there was an event that she hosted where she had this fantastic idea that instead of having a piece of thing where it's like everyone signs their name, their first, last name, email address, and phone number, it was a sheet of paper that was made on docs or whatever that said what you want in your home. And it's 5 bullet points of 5 things that you want ideally in your home. And I tried it once, and I got more people's contact information from filling out that sheet than I have in the past with just a regular sign-in sheet that was just sign your name here and put in your email address and information. And I also now have all of this information that I now know because I'm going to set an appointment with Stephanie and James and their 2-year-old, and they're looking to buy a house. And I know that they don't want a pool because they're kids too. And I know they're looking for something that's 1 story, and I know they're looking for a 2-car garage. Those are 3 things they wrote down. So now I can narrow that down for them, and I can be, actually, I have something off market. Do you guys want to go take a look tomorrow at 4? Anyways.
I love it, man. I love it. So since you're a millennial, are you Gen Z or a millennial?
I'm Gen Z. Yeah.
Okay. You look too young to be a millennial. Oh, that's a good thing, by the way.
Oh, good. I love it. I
Um,
love it.
try this. Are you big on social media? Do you post a lot? Do you do anything like that?
I don't anymore. I used to a bunch, but I've been trying to stay off of social media for the most part.
Okay, that's so interesting. So many people your age say the same stinking thing.
Yeah.
So let's go old school on this thing. So Ashley met this lady she's gonna be listing the property for X amount of dollars. We don't know the amount, but she met her at a Starbucks in line, and then created a conversation and a relationship, and then got the appointment, went over, met with her, and we'll see where it's gonna go. So do you want to take a challenge with me really quickly?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have business cards by any chance?
I don't. I actually don't.
You're killing me.
Ashley doesn't use them, and so I
It
don't.
doesn't matter what she does. So here's the thing. My dad's way older than Ashley, and he's been in the business for 3 times, 4 times longer. And I'm not demeaning her in the slightest.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this. Old school tactics, what I'm seeing are coming back in a vengeance. So go to any kind of place where you can get a business card with a QR code, put on the back or something like that. People can scan, look at your link tree, so on and so forth. But I challenge you for the next 90 days, I want you to take 25 business cards every single day. I want you to put them in your pocket, and you do not come home until you hand them out. Now, people ask, like, well, how am I going to do that in a luxury market? It's very simple. You got to buy lettuce, tomatoes, maybe a steak or a hot dog or something like that, some milk. Go in, hand the business card out, 25 of them every day. My dad used to put little pebbles in his right-hand pocket, and then every time he would talk to somebody and give a business card, he'd take one pebble from right-hand side, left-hand side pocket. Wouldn't come home until he is done. He's one of the most successful brokers that almost any top broker around the country is going to know. And it's because it's getting interpersonal with people. And here's something that he did at an event at his property that I was running security for the 2 weekends ago. There's a guy standing by himself, and my dad went up and he just asked one simple question. And it was, so what are your hobbies? The guy wouldn't stop talking for 30 minutes. So hand out the business card, ask something provocative about their life, nothing weird, but just like, what's your hobbies? Like, where do you want to live? Like, how long have you lived here? Where'd you come from? Blah, blah, blah. What line of work are you in? Social posts. Once you do a post, like my girlfriend she tricked me. Oh my God, she tricked me. We did a video. If you go to my Instagram or Facebook, you'll see my post there. And we watched the show Hot Ones. And when they put,
I love that show,
dude.
I love that show.
I have mad respect for those fools after this experience.
It's hot, isn't it? Did you try it,
dude? So we did a cracker.
Oh,
I had a little more than I should have on the cracker, and then she put it on there, by the way. And then she did her little dab on the cracker, and we ate it. And if you go back and you just watch my interactions and reactions, we have almost 1,000 views. And that's pretty good in today's algorithm of watching 2 people burn their faces off. And so many people hit me up and be like, dude, I love to see your face go from normal to bright red and watch you like, because it was hot. Here's the reason why I say this is that all the folks that interacted with me, I interacted right back. Gary V or Gary Vanderchuck for all you young bloods.
Love that guy.
Dude, he would sit up until 3 o'clock in the morning responding to every single response. Now, here's why this is important, because if you want to avoid the $500,000, mistaken luxury remodels, get to know the people in the area, get to know the local businesses. When people respond to you, tag them, get back with them, use hashtags. It's not that hard. Yeah, it sucks to do it a little bit, but it's called voice to text. You can do it very quickly. Hey, Matt, Greg, man, thanks so much for liking my video. Did my face get that red? question mark algorithm now connects that, and then when you connect back to me, now we're friends again. One of the things I did, I busted up my back a number of years ago, and one of my knees, and so standing for a long period of time kind of sucks for me. And so at open houses, I was just really hurting one day, and I just said, okay, you know what? Come sit with me.
I have something to say about that when you're done. Go ahead.
And people, they don't know what to don't know what to do with me when I do that. But the thing is, it gets conversations going so that you can help folks avoid the $500,000 mistakes in remodels or in purchases or sales or anything else like that.
100%.
But tell me your story.
The pattern interrupt was like crazy, and it's on the phones, it's insane. But in person, it's different. When you're talking to someone, if I'm in someone's house and I'm meeting with them and we're discussing listing a home or renovate to sell, which if for those of you guys that don't know what that is, if someone's selling their house and it's in bad shape, we offer a service called Renovate to Sell, where we'll help you renovate your house so you can get more for it. Obviously, there's a lot more involved, but that's just a basic scope of it.
Right.
But when you're sitting in someone's house and you're sitting on their couch and it's very business talk and you're just going back and forth, all of a sudden, if you go, hey, you got bottled water by any chance? Or can I see that? Or can I sit outside? Or can we see is that a fireplace? And just like completely shift the topic for 2 seconds, go over, do whatever that thing is that you just said that you're going to do, and then come back and resume the conversation. And the whole like vibe of the conversation will change because now you guys just did something personal. I don't know if that makes sense, but it works. I promise you it works.
It does work. And that's the whole point of this, is that getting connected with folks. Like I went on a like a $4 or $5 million listing appointment. Big property, gated. I mean, like a garden, giant ass pool. Like it was a great estate, right? Really great estate. And I got to know the folks because I do a 2-step listing appointment. Some people like 1-step. I like 2-step. That's just my style. And so I asked them, where are you moving? Blah, blah, blah. And they told me the name of the city down on the coast, Central California, Central Coast. And they're like, oh, it's blah, 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 Yakety Schmack City. So I went on to Amazon and I got the history of that city in a book. And I brought that to the secondary listing appointment. Right. And I didn't just bring the book. I also brought this thing. It's called a pen. And I just said, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I hope to help you sell your home, or looking forward to helping you sell your home. Greg McDaniel. Signed on the inside cover. Then I gave it to them. The entire listing appointment went right around that damn book. It was a $22 book, and these people were worth a butt ton of cash. Let's put it that way. But they like the $22 book. And that is something like, if Ash or you go on a listing appointment, go find a book about the best ways to spend money on remodeling your property for the highest resale value. Or if you guys write the damn thing and bring it to them and then sign the interior cover, that is like a business card. So I have one of my business cards here, right? This thing takes about that long to get rid of. But they're not going to get rid of a book that's associated with something that they're interested in.
It's true. I love that. That is actually a really good idea. Sign or like bringing something relevant to what you talked about. Like if they talk about muscle cars, like you mentioned, bring them go to Barnes and Noble and get a book about muscle cars and write your
history of muscle cars, the history of racing. Yeah, anything.
You guys
like
see
that.
Fen back there? Look at her. Look at her. Isn't she a menace?
So we're showing cat booty, cat porn booty. Ben's like, to heck with you, man. So what Matt and I were talking about is the fact that like how to bring value add to people who are going to be doing luxury home remodels, and how to build and gain their trust and interest in working with you. And I think we came up with a couple of good ideas, but you were talking to somebody who's more important than us. So
sorry.
You're not sorry. Don't lie to me like that.
I'm actually not sorry because it was a
See,
really
told you.
important phone call.
So, Ash, what would be something when you go on a listing appointment to gain that trust and help people step aside of that $500,000 misstep in luxury home remodels? What's something that you would talk to them about?
I would talk to them about the cost of material, and the margins that contractors make. So there's a couple different models when it comes to construction. There's the cost plus, there's just psychopath.
Look, we're gonna get an OnlyFans for your cat, okay?
It's called Only Deals, Greg. Only Deals. But there's a couple different models that contractors use, and the higher the net worth of the zip code goes, the more they fuck you. So looking at material is very, very important because that's where they make their margin. That's where they make their money. They do not make money on labor. They don't make money on scopes. Like, they don't make money on anything but material. So when you're in this business, when you're flipping houses, like, and you're in volume, like I've been flipping houses for several years now, I get a very good price constantly for the same material that these high-end contractors, design build contractors, are putting in these homes, right? And unfortunately, these homeowners don't know that, and they're paying like 100% margins on these materials, like, cabinets, hardwood, everything. And that's where things go awry, and it's kind of a disaster. So pay attention to your material cost. If you know someone like me, you can get it for super cheap, the same grade that you would pay $40 a square foot for, or you're going to be screwed by a contractor, to be honest.
It happens all the time. And that's one of the biggest things that when all of you folks are still listening to us, which I know you do because you love our voices, think about that a little bit, what Ashley just said in regards to you can pay $400 a square foot or $200 a square foot. What would you like? And I'm making up numbers here. I'm not a contractor, but you get the point. Go out there, advise your clients. And if you're going to be getting into flipping, reach out to Ashley, reach out to Matt, figure this out because they're in different locations around the country. Ash, what is the best way to reach out to you if someone's going like, gosh, this chick is just on point. I got to talk to her, because I think I'm getting screwed on some stuff. How do people reach out to you?
They can call me at 858-401-6927, or
stop clapping.
They can. I just don't know what your problem is. I don't get it. Am I annoying? I think I'm
No,
fun.
not you. But anyways, get back to your contact information.
Or you can hit me up at the Ashley Graham on Instagram. The THEASHLEEGRAM on the
More
Insta.
clapping.
Are you upset?
I'm gonna fall out of my chair.
Matt, you better start clapping when you give your information, okay?
I got you covered. No,
all
I'm
right.
kidding.
So Matt, so Ashley's in Tahoe in Incline Village. You're in San Diego. So we're opposite ends of the state. How do people get a hold of you, and why should they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold. I have a phone number. It's 619-701 619-701-6266. That's my phone number. Or you can find me on Instagram at Matt Nerir. It's MATTNEHRIR. I am private, so you got to request me. I got to vet you before. I'm kidding. You should. I mean, honestly, you should reach out to me.
I vet everyone, so I don't have to send cease and desist letters.
That is also very true. She's not kidding.
Well,
not a joke.
So we have Matt's information. We have Ashley's information. So annoying.
You're so annoying.
Oh, you love me.
I love you so much, Greg. You're my bestie.
Crazy quote.
So anyways, guys, if you're looking to do investments either in Northern California or Southern California, reach out to them. If you guys are looking to do anything real estate wise, you can get a hold of me at 925-915-1978.
Wow.
I love that for you.
Both of you.
We might get canceled.
Oh,
These guys are experts in their game. They crush skulls. They make people a lot of money. Yeah, they make money too. But here's the thing. There's a give and take in life. And if you want somebody who's not going to walk away from you in regards to a transaction or any kind of deal, either construction or anything else, you have someone that's going to have your back. These are the two that I trust, and I really enjoy hanging out with them. If you guys want to do a residential resale, give me a holler. I'm here in the San Francisco East Bay. I'm happy to help you or connect you with anyone around the country or around the world with who I've worked with in the past. So, guys, I appreciate you. We love you. You have Ashley's contact information. You have Matt's contact information, and
God, you're such a hater.
You're love
such
it.
a hater. I'm gonna clap.
Guys.
And you have Greg's information.
But no, you have to do it like this. Listen up. Okay, let's go, team.
Should I get the little hands?
I don't know what that means.
Oh yes, the little have you not seen the meme?
The little baby hands, like the little.
Oh, okay. We're gonna cut the show. Okay, guys and gals, we've gone off the rails. Hit up Ashley, hit up Matt, hit up me. Let's talk real estate. Let's talk investments. Let's talk money. Let's make some, cash happen. And you guys have a blessed and powerful 2025. We will see you on the next show when it comes to investments. Until then, boom, peace. Love you guys. Peace out, ninjas.
I love you.
And go with the click clack.